How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Kudos to both Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray for putting on an absolute show the first round of the 2020 playoffs. Both rising superstars gave it their all. It's unfortunate Utah was a starter short. Donovan played as well as he did. Over the course of the last 20 years, some of the most memorable one-on-one playoff duels occurred. Some of them in the earlier rounds. Two players on each team who stood out in the series, going back and forth. Although some of them might play different positions, the matchups were must-watch television. Here are 10 of the greatest one-on-one playoff duels since 2000. Number 10, Paul Pierce versus Allen Iverson 2002. With much history between Philly and Boston, the Troops' first ever playoff appearance against the regaining MVP, Philly after a trip to the finals. Boston had home court advantage. Pierce was switched to the pick and roll, guarding the answer at times. Knowing AI had the best crossover in the league, somebody was always going to end up on the other end of his highlights. A 26-point per game score in the regular season, very nerve-wracking first experience. The Truth delivered 31 big points in Game 1, 25 the second game. After Iverson's 42 in Game 3, Pierce had 29 in the close loss. Iverson tied the series with 28 the fourth game, but Pierce, with the help of Antoine Walker, blew out Iverson and the Sixers in dominating fashion. The clincher, Pierce a monster, 46 points, 8 3-pointers, 16 of 25 shooting. The deciding game, Boston erupted for 43 fourth quarter points, one of the most underrated performances. There weren't many guys who scored 45 plus in postseason play during the early 2000s. Iverson had 31 of his own. Number 9, 2006, LeBron James Gilbert Arenas, LBJ's first ever playoff series against the rising superstar Agent Zero, 24 and 21 years old respectively. Both players took turns dominating. Agent Zero had the 15 and 14 winning record over James for his career plus playoffs, but LeBron 7 and 3 against the 6'3 guard in postseason play. If Arenas didn't tear his ACL, the two could have been a rivalry for many years. Both made their second All-Star appearances. James dominated Game 1, 32-11-11 in his postseason debut. Arenas 26 points, but Game 2 belonged to the Wizards. Gilbert poured in 30, James 26, both lit it up in Game 3. James 41, Arenas 34, the go-ahead game-winning layup for LBJ. Both showed up again the next game. James 38, Gilbert once again 34. Jamison and Butler also had 20 plus. Game 5, one of the best back-and-forth duos, went to overtime. Arenas 44 points on 24 shots. James one-upped him, 45 points on 23 shots. Hit the game-winning layup in overtime with less than a second left. Back-and-forth display. Another overtime, the 6th game. James trash-talked Arenas at the free throw line after Washington had the lead. Gilbert shockingly missed both. Damon Jones nailed the go-ahead jumper. James and the Cavs won 114-113. LBJ 32 points, Arenas 36. Both men gave it their all. LeBron 35.7 points for the series, 51% shooting. Arenas 34 points. Exciting, entertaining first round matchup. The fact that Agent Zero was going toe-to-toe with LeBron showed how great he could have been if healthy. Number 8, Paul Pierce vs. LeBron James 2008. Also battled it out 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2014 when Pierce was way past his prime with Brooklyn. In an ugly low-scoring series, neither Pierce nor James played well the first couple games. Both combined 4 of 32 shooting in Game 1. Both didn't score more than 21 points each the first 4 games, but both came alive Game 5. James 35 points, Pierce 29, a comfortable Celtics win. Kevin Garnett was the best Celtic that series overall, but when winning time mattered, both had their back and forth duels in Game 7. LeBron 45 big points, Pierce 41 of his own, played amazing defense down the stretch, clinched the game with free throws. LeBron averaged 26.7 points for the series, Pierce 19.5. Both remember for the iconic Game 7, Pierce's defensive assignment drew LeBron off his last 3 games of the 2010 semis. James got his revenge in 2011. Despite D-Wade the best player that series, Pierce nailed a clutch jumper in Game 5 the following year, followed by LeBron's epic 45-point Game 6. James got the last laugh. LeBron obviously the superior player overall, but the two matching up face to face for a bunch of series we'll never forget. Number 7, Isaiah Thomas vs. John Wall 2017 semis. Many already seem to have forgotten the amazing MVP caliber season from the 5'9 All-Star. Washington had more star power with Beal and Wall, but Boston better chemistry and well coached. Thomas wasted no time, dominating Game 1 with 33, blew the game wide open the third period. Facing adversity, IT dealt with the tragic death of his sister, had the best game of his career in Game 2, an all-out epic battle. Washington jumped up with 42 first quarter points. John Wall had a 40-piece 13 dimes, but Thomas elevated his game to newer heights. A 53-point masterpiece not only sent the game to overtime, but dominated OT, hitting jumper after jumper. Thomas outscored Wall 29-5 in the fourth quarter in overtime. Up 2-0, Washington easily tied the series before Boston blew them out Game 5 in an epic 6-game. Thomas 27 points, nailed a clutch jumper to put Boston up, but Wall with 26 nailed the go-ahead game-winning 3 with 3.5 seconds left, extended the series only for the Kelly Olynyk game. Thomas had 29 in Game 7, Olynyk 26, Wall struggled going 8 of 23. Thomas averaged 27.5 points for the series, 7 assists. Wall a solid 25 points, 10 assists on 40% shooting, although Beal averaged 24 and way more efficient than Wall. Had the better numbers in Game 6 and 7, more efficient. This series will always be remembered as the John Wall vs. Isaiah Thomas showdown. Number 6, Carmelo Anthony vs. Kobe Bryant 2009 Conference Finals. After developing a strong bond for Team USA, Anthony had his best team with veteran leader Chauncey Billups. Denver clicked on all cylinders, dominating New Orleans and Dallas. The series intense from the start. Both guarded each other at times, battled down low, and fought for rebounds. An all-out dogfight. First 3 games down to the wire, back and forth. Kobe a 40-piece. Game 1, Anthony 39 of his own. Game 2, another epic showdown. Melo 34, Kobe 32. Both nailed clutch jumpers down the stretch, but Bryant way more superior. Game 3 had 41, Anthony 21. Lakers better down the stretch. Game 5, Kobe closed out the series with 35 in Game 6, getting the best of Melo, one of his all-time great series. Averaged 34, 6 and 6. Melo 27.5 points. Both brought the best out of each other. Prime Melo was phenomenal enough to prove he can battle it out with the best of the best. Number 5, Kevin Durant vs. LeBron James battled out multiple times. The 2012, 2017, and 2018 finals, 2 of the best players for their era, having insane numbers against each other. One simply cannot guard the other. Prime James in Miami had the edge over the 23-year-old Durant's Thunder. The Heat had more help, but KD had the better team with Golden State. School LeBron one-on-one throughout the 2017 finals, the better player down the stretch. A finals with no defense whatsoever. Nailed the clutch jumper late Game 3, dropped 30 plus every one of those games, while James a masterful Game 1 2018 finals with 51, but lost in OT. Durant clutch again down the stretch in Game 3. Despite none of the series being remotely close, both are 2 of the best players for the 2010s decade, going at it 3 times in the finals. Pretty sweet to say the least. Number 4, Allen Iverson vs. Vince Carter 2001. Much of what you saw in the Jamal Murray Donovan Mitchell series was what AI and BC brought to the table in the 01 semis. Both teams' second best player were big men, Antonio Davis and Dikembe Mutombo. 4 of these games decided by 5 points or less, a showdown from the beginning. Carter 35 points in Game 1, Iverson 36. Both players made clutch plays, Raptors a 3-point win, but Game 2, Iverson, one of his greatest single playoff performances, would not let his team down, closed out the game down the stretch, a postseason career high, 54 points, the rest of his team just 43, second leading scorer Eric Snow with 10 points, talk about single-handedly carrying his team. Carter's 28 points overshadowed, but VC came storming back, a masterful career playoff high, 51 points in Game 3, Toronto won by 24, 9 3-pointers, prime Vinsanity. Philly survived the 4th game, Iverson 30, Carter 25, the pivotal Game 5, Iverson yet another 50-piece, 21 of 32 shooting, 8 3-pointers, destroyed everybody guarding him, 52 points to be exact, putting an exclamation point the day he received his MVP trophy, a plus 30, Carter struggle of 16, a dominating 33-point Philly win. Carter then responded, 39 points in Game 6, AI struggle of 20, similar to Murray and Mitchell's Game 7, Iverson only shot 8 of 27 for 21 points, Carter 6 of 18, 20 points, an iconic series, both stars battle back and forth till the very end, Carter's last second shot off the mark, Philly an 88-87 Game 7 win, Iverson averaged 33.7 points, 7 assists over 3 steals on over 40% shooting, 43 from 3. Carter 30.5 points, 6 rebounds, almost 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 47% shooting. 2 of the most popular players in their conference. Number 3, Tim Duncan vs. Dirk Nowitzki 2006 semifinals. The 2 met 6 total times in the span of 14 years in the postseason. Duncan the 4-2 edge, a series for the decade. It's an absolute travesty. 63 win San Antonio and 60 win Dallas played in the semis because they were in the same conference, Dallas was the 4th seed. The rule later changed because of this matchup. Two of the best power forwards all season, Duncan struck first, outscoring Nowitzki 31-20 in Game 1. Many role players stepped up all series for Dallas. 3 guys 20 plus in Game 2, Duncan 35-12 Game 3, Nowitzki 27 points on 3 made shots, but went 21 of 24 from the line. A Dallas 104-103 win. Both sensational yet again. Game 4, Duncan 31-13, Nowitzki 28-9. Terry and Parker also went at it, both 30 plus. Dallas up 3-1. Duncan once again carried his team, 36 big points in Game 5, Nowitzki 31. San Antonio a nail-biting 1-point victory. Jason Terry suspended for Game 6. Both power forwards scored in the mid-20s. Game 7, absolutely epic. Both brought their A game. Duncan led a furious comeback after being down 20. The big fundamental absolutely destroyed, abused, annihilated, and dominated Eric Dampier the whole game, but Dirk tied the game with an and-one free throw, forcing overtime. Dallas prevailed 119-111, nearly blew a 3-1 lead. Timmy D 41-15, Nowitzki 37-15 in Game 7. Two of the most loyal franchise players for their generations. An epic rivalry. What a series that was. Number 2, how about a double duel? Ray Allen vs Ben Gordon, Rajon Rondo vs Derrick Rose, a series for the ages, perhaps the best first round series in NBA history, absolutely legendary, 7 total overtimes, 5 of these 7 games were won by 1 possession. I can make a whole 20-minute video about how amazing this series was. Rookie Rose's playoff debut against the up-and-coming Rondo, Allen and Gordon, sharpshooters, clutch all series. Rose a monster, 36 points, 11 assists, his first ever playoff game. Rondo 29, 9-7. Allen struggled, but bounced back in Game 2. Rondo a 19-12-16 triple-double stat line. Ben Gordon kept his Bulls in it, 42 of his own, but Ray Allen 30 points, the game winner, tying the series at 1. Game 3 a Boston blowout. The 4th game, double overtime. Rondo 25, 11-11, Pierce 29, Allen 28, Gordon 22, Rose 32, John Salmons 20, Rondo a 28-point, 11-assist Game 5, Pierce 26 and the game winner. Gordon had 26 of his own. Game 6 absolutely breathtaking. Ray Allen a playoff career high, 51 points, 9 3-pointers, Rondo 19 assists, Rose 28 of his own, John Salmons 35 points, went at it with Pierce. Game 7 all Boston. Despite Gordon's 33, Eddie House the unsung hero, after just 24 points the first 6 games, 16 the final game. Simply one of the most competitive series in NBA history straight up. Ray Allen and Pierce each averaged over 23 a game. Rondo flat out amazing numbers, 19.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, over 11 assists. Gordon over 24 a game. Rose 20, Salmons 18. Boston shorthanded without Kevin Garnett all playoffs. Number 1, Donovan Mitchell vs Jamal Murray 2020. Both absolutely legendary, amazing, spectacular, and breathtaking. Rising young stars, Mitchell on his way to superstar status, Murray yet to make an all-star team as of 2020. A battle for the ages, each took turns taking over the game. This is number 1 on this list because of the records being broken, combined with the high scoring, with Denver coming back down 3 games to 1. All the drama in the world you can think of. Entering the 2020 postseason, Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson, the only 2 players to put up 2 50-plus point game in the single playoff series. Both Murray and Mitchell did it this series. Mitchell a sparkling 57-point Game 1, the 3rd highest all-time in a single playoff game, only behind Michael Jordan and Elgin Baylor. Murray's 36 points forgotten, just as incredible down the stretch with timely shot after timely shot. Utah won the next 2 games, wasn't close. Game 4 another showdown, both 23 years old. This series might not have gotten as much attention as the Lakers or Clippers, but will be talked about for decades to come. Game 4 absolutely remarkable. Mitchell 51 points on 27 shots, Murray 50 on 31 shots. Donovan secured the game, knocking down clutch free throws down the stretch. Utah was about to close out the series in 5, but the Nuggets outscored them 35-21 in the 4th quarter. Mitchell had a dirty piece, but Murray 42, 8-8 on 65% shooting. Utah came out strong in Game 6, but Murray simply refused to let his team down, single-handedly closed the game out. Another 50 piece, 17 of 24 shooting, 9 triples, overshadowing Mitchell's sensational 44 points, 9 threes on 25 shots. The greatest scoring duo in NBA history amongst 2 opponents, 475 total points combined, 65 total 3-pointers, 9 30-plus point games, 4 50-point games. Murray also became the first player since MJ with 3 straight 40-point games in the postseason series. Mitchell averaged an insane 36.3 points, 53% shooting, over 51 from 3, 95 from the line. The first player to put up those numbers in the single playoff run, despite both of them not playing their best in Game 7. It's only right this series came down to the very last possession, very similar series to the Iverson vs Carter duel. Honorable mentions includes Allen Iverson vs Ray Allen 2001, AI 30.5 points, Allen 27, a 7-game series, Nowitzki vs McGrady 2005, Nash vs Nowitzki also 2005, D-Wade vs Vince Carter 06 semis, 2014 CP3 vs Curry, a 7-game series, Blake Griffin and Chris Paul against Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard 2015, one of the best first round series all time, Steph Curry vs Kevin Durant 2016 conference finals, 2018 Durant and Curry vs Harden and Paul, 2018 Westbrook vs Mitchell, 2019 Jamal Murray vs CJ McCollum, 2020 Luka vs Kawhi. Amazing performances from these players, but we can only fit in 10. What other playoff one-on-one duels did you enjoy? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.